Hello. So today we're going to talk about how to make a cover for a notebook, a fabric cover for a notebook. So this is just an ordinary notebook, and just if you've got some special things in it, then it's nice to make it exciting. So this is just a piece of calico with various ribbons, fabric, buttons on it, and also a piece of patchwork that I found hanging around that wasn't doing anything useful. And because of the buttons, it means that you can wrap the ribbon round, wrap it round the button, and then that seals it so that it keeps all your secrets safe. So I'm going to show you how to make this. So the first thing that you need is your notebook. Here's a notebook that I just got from the local shop. It doesn't matter whether it has a ring binding or not, either will work. And then you need a piece of calico that is this sort of size. So this is the height of the notebook plus 5 centimetres top and bottom, and then it wraps around the notebook with 10 centimetres either end to spare, and then these extra 10 centimetres we're going to tuck inside to make the little sleeve, and then the notebook will come in and out of its sleeve, so when you move on to a new notebook you can use your cover again. Okay, so here is my piece of calico here on the table, and I've got various bits of ribbon and fabric that I'm going to add to it. So I've just cut strips and just going to lay those down. I started off this one with this little K, embroidered K that somebody gave me, so I've tried to sort of go for colours that will go with that, and then that will be the focus piece. Okay, so the strips are going to sort of go overlapping like this, so you don't need to hem them first, you can just use them as they are. The frayed bits just kind of add to the character of it. So there we go, there's our nice bright blue. Because I didn't have quite a long enough piece of that bright blue, I'm going to use two pieces that are just, the join is just hidden there. And I've got a lovely bright green as well that I found, and again only a tiny bit more, so I thought I'll just put it there and sort of hide it underneath the other pieces. There we go. Okay, and then there's this beautiful see-through ribbon that I'm putting on top of the green. So for what will be the back of the book over this side, it hasn't got the bright green underneath, but that's fine. And then just some very bright pink. So as you can see, I'm just doing this sort of crisscross arrangement. I have ironed this at the halfway point, so I know that all of this will be the front and all of this will be the back of the notebook. And obviously you don't want to go too near the bottom or the top, because that's all going to be folded in so you won't see it. And I've got a lovely little piece of lace I thought I'd add to the back, so the back's got a bit of character. And then there's my K, which is just going to go where everything overlaps there. And I did actually find some little feathers, so I thought I'd just put the feathers in under the K, like that. So that's what it's going to look like. So the next thing you need to do is just pin all that down and use your sewing machine or hand sew all of those ribbons and pieces of fabric on. You can either sew sort of straight down the middle if it's narrower ribbon, or two sides if it's wider ribbon. If you've got two layers, obviously you only need to stitch down the top piece because the bottom piece will be caught in the layer. I will take this K off and the ribbons while I sew everything else, and then sew that down at the very end. So you can use straight stitches on your sewing machine or zigzag stitches, especially where you've got the raw edges. That might be a good idea. Or you can experiment with some of the other stitches that you've got, the embroidery stitches, and just have a little bit of fun decorating your piece of calico. Right, so I'll show you how to put it together once you've decorated your piece of calico. So please imagine this is a decorated piece of calico, and then I'll show you how to put it all together. So the first thing you want to do is make a little hem on the two sides, so the right and left sides. So I've ironed that down, and then I'll take that to the machine and sew it there. And then the same with the other end. Fold it in a couple of times so the raw edges have gone, and then take that to the machine and sew it down. So once you've neatened those two edges, then you're going to want to get rid of this extra at the bottom and the top. So just going to fold that in sort of just below the bottom of the notepad and iron it, and then you can iron half of that so that you're getting rid of all the raw edges again. So you'll be folding that in like that, and the same at the top. So iron it down just a little bit more than where the pad is, and then fold it in half and fold it in, and that gives you the top as well. Okay, so I'm just going to put a couple of pins in that just so that it stays there while I show you the next piece. So you have to do this stitching in sequence so that you end up with the raw edges hidden once you've finished. Okay, so I need to imagine that these two edges are done as well. So put your pad about at the centre, fold it over, and then you can see when the two edges are together, and then you're going to tuck that extra 10 centimetres inside the notebook, and the same with the back. Tuck your extra 10 centimetres inside the notebook. You need to make sure that the notebook will close and open where you put it, so you might need to make that slightly less of an overlap so that it gives you a bit more freedom. And then all you've got to do is stitch with a little hem stitch just here in these four places. So just there, and then turn it round so it's just there and just there. Okay, and then you'll end up with your notebook. That's where I've hemmed it, and that's where the overlap is tucked inside, and the same on the back. There's a little hem there, And then obviously that's loose, so you can take the notebook out if you want to when it's filled up. And then just a few buttons and a nice long loop of ribbon. So the one end of the loop is just around this button, like that. And just put it around the button, and then you can take it around the notebook and wind it round the button to seal it all closed. So there you go, a nice little fabric notebook.